afternoon, everyone, and thank you for allowing me a few minutes of your time to talk to you about an issue that is near and dear to my heart, certainly. I know firsthand and all too well the disruptive and life-altering impact that natural disasters can have on our families and our individual lives, often destroying much about what we care about. My hometown of New Orleans was ravaged by Katrina. My state, of course, has been ravaged numerous times, most recently and significantly in the August 2016 floods around Baton Rouge. And I've watched the countless hurricanes and floods and tornadoes and fires that have devastated so much of our country for so many years, but it seems particularly so in these last several. And all of you in this room know that lawyers play a critical role in the road to restoration for those who are struggling to recover from these tragic situations, assisting them with needs ranging from the immediate to the long term. Legal assistance in these times of crisis is essential and nothing less. Attorneys provide information and they listen to survivors when survivors need to be listened to the most. When they need to be heard, attorneys and staff, they work at the disaster recovery centers, assisting with applications, providing counsel, engaging in representation of landlord-tenant issues, disability benefits, unemployment benefits, and other matters. And attorneys use flood-proof and other means to help homeowners establish ownership necessary to obtain FEMA and SBA and state recovery funds. And they help with FEMA appeals, and sometimes it takes years, and they render other help, as you all know so well, for so many years after the disaster strikes. As president of the ABA, of the American Bar Association, I assure you that our profession's role in this important work is at the forefront of the leadership of the association and our membership. Through our active, dedicated disaster legal services program, the ABA Young Lawyers Division, working with FEMA, has for decades provided immediate temporary legal assistance to disaster survivors at no charge. Since 2017, our disaster legal services program has responded to 41 disaster declarations. Since only 2017, currently our efforts are focused on planning and preparedness in a significant way. And Hurricane Dorian just gave us a good check on the readiness of our state and regional teams along the Atlantic coast. That relationship building and that coordination is exactly what this LSC report talks about, how important it is to have it in a continuous process of building and strengthening so that when something happens, we are all on the ready. The ABA Standing Committee on Disaster Response and Preparedness and Standing Committee on Pro Bono, and also the SCLADE Committee, chaired by Andrew Van Single, who's here with us, Ted Howard, as well as David Bienvenu, who's not here. They continue to provide training for pro bono for lawyers and legal service providers, and in 2019 alone, they provided or participated in substantive trainings in multiple states and have more training planned, training that the LSC report also calls critical and significant to this effort. And we encourage all states and territories to adopt the Katrina Rule, which allows attorneys to take pro bono cases and disasters without being admitted in the affected state. And currently around half of the states in this country have a Katrina Rule, which means that pro bono attorneys can even, in some of those states, deliver legal services remotely without even leaving their offices through ABA Free Legal Answers and many other means. And in 2017, we provided free CLE for legal service providers on business interruption planning, because we know from Texas and Houston and Louisiana and so many places that when disaster strikes, it doesn't choose who it strikes. It strikes our frontline providers, and it is our obligation of the bar to get them up and running as fast as we can, because they are the most efficient and effective means of delivering legal services. We know that, we have the experience and the data on that, and we need to make sure that we are helping them get back on their feet in their offices and elsewhere in order that they can best serve. All of that is what this remarkable report talks about. So the bottom line is that we, the lawyers, need to continue to do this work, each and every one of us. We, the American Bar Association, we need to continue our disaster legal work in response and in preparedness. As we continue to strengthen our relationship with the Legal Services Corporation on this and on so many other aspects of its vital work. So thank you for not only this report, but for your tireless efforts on this issue and so many more. I'm encouraged by the presence of so many lawyer leaders in this room, some from my hometown, the state of Louisiana. The ABA looks forward to continuing to identify opportunities of collaboration in our work to help heal and restore the lives and communities impacted by natural disasters. Thank you very much.